Good morning, everyone. So, as the title says, Indian Rasa Theory through Empirical Point of View, a lecture demonstration. Art is supposed to be the medium of expression and communication. But as Susan Langer says, art is not mere self expression as it doesn't express just the creator's present feelings, but feelings and emotions, but human emotions in general, and it is self expression and emotions disciplined, put in a form, and well articulated. In Indian aesthetic theory, that which is expressed by the art, especially theatre or drama, is termed as rasa. Bharata is the pioneer of this theory, and in his voluminous treatise called Natya Shastra, he discusses the creative process, presentation, form, and content, audience reaction of the drama, along with many philosophical concepts which are crucial to Indian aesthetics. Today, we focus on one of the key concepts in this treatise, rasa. A significant amount of academic inquiry and debate has been and continues to be going on about definition of rasa, its interpretations, its manifestation, number of rasas, etc. However, instead of delving into those intricate theoretical nuances, today we will be looking into the empirical process of which is employed in dance to create rasa. Brief clarification before heading to the main topic. This talk is confined to the Rasa Nishpatti process in Indian classical dance. Although the process of developing an Abhinaya piece is broadly similar in the case of most of the Indian classical dance styles, barring a few differences, we will examine it specifically through the lens of Bharatanatyam, it being my area of specialization. So, coming back to Rasa, here Langer's insight bears repeating. The emotional response that the audience has to an artwork is not simply the result of an artwork's subject matter, but rather is elicited by the way that the artwork is structured and presented. Today, we shall be looking into the process of creating or structuring a specific kind of artwork to achieve the desired impact. And aligning with the aim of the unconference, I would try to break down some of the theoretical jargon which goes into our dance practice and try to show how it is being implemented practically while coming up with a piece. So, yes, what is rasa? Bharata has provided us with an aphorism Vibhavanubhava Vyabhichari Sanyoga Rasa Nishpatti. Rasa is a synthesis of Vibhava, Anubhava, and Vyabhichari bhavas. Theoreticians post Bharata have interpreted rasa as the bliss which the audience experience after watching the performance or a work of art. However, we will adhere to the Natya Shastric concept of rasa, where it is regarded as both non-mental art object and mental aesthetic object. A sthai bhava in its most heightened stage and not simply as relish or aswada which the audience experiences. We will be dealing with rasa as an art object which is created on stage during the performance. How is this rasa created? What exactly are its constituents? Various rasas are created mainly through abhinaya. अभिपूर्वस्य नियधातुराभिमुख्यार्थ निर्णय यस्मात् प्रयोगम नयति तस्माद् अभिनय स्मृता. That which takes meaning or essence towards something is called abhinaya. And in the case of drama or dance, that which takes the meaning of dance or drama, that is natyartha, to audience is called abhinaya. Both pure nritya and the emotive aspects of the dance come under this. We are concerned with the latter, the movements whose sole purpose is to convey the story to the audience. And yes, I would quickly like to grab your attention while we are speaking about abhinaya. So there are four kinds of abhinaya given: angika, vachika, aharya, and satvika. The description of which you can see. So, although in Indian classical dance styles, although the four Abhinay types are given, in Indian classical dance styles like Kathak, Bharatanatyam, we mainly use the first and the last of the list. In a traditional solo repertoire, We do not dress up as per the character we are playing, nor do we use properties or set. Even the Vachika is confined only to the singer singing the lyrics. The absence of two kinds of Abhinaya put a lot of emphasis on the Angik Abhinaya. And since everything is being conveyed stylistically through physical gestures and postures alone, it is challenging for both the dancer and the audience to convey and comprehend which is to be said or which is being said. So, yes, this rasa to rasa again. All of us universally are born with certain emotions or dispositions. These sthai bhava are called so as they are universal, inherent, dormant, and transcend the bounds of space and time. They are roused or brought to surface when hit by a stimulus. Bharata listed 8 sthais, while later scholars identified the 9, which form the theory accepted today. The theory of Navarasa, the Shantaras has been added to the list, and the sthai called Nirveda or Shama is added. So, to the components of rasa, the theatrical stimuli for the arousal of the sthai are called vibhava. These are of two kinds, people or characters, which are called alambana, and the ambience is called uddipana. These are directly visible on stage, or in the case of dance, their presence or abhasa is created through angika abhinaya. The physical manifestations and physical reactions arising as a result of these emotions are called anubhava. The ones which follow come after the vibhava. Then comes the crucial concepts of vyabhichari bhava. They are named so for their fleeting transitory nature. Literally, they are unfaithful as they do not remain loyal or stick to a single sthai bhava but constantly shift their associations. So these momentary emotions, also called sanchari bhava, as they roam from emotion to emotion, serving to strengthen different sthai bhavas. And it would be interesting to note that the emotions which are, supposed to be negative, also play the role in strengthening the so-called positive emotions. So it is a very interesting thing to note. So these Vyabhichari bhavas arise and vanish much like the transient ripples or waves on the surface of the sea. Bharata has provided us with the sample list of 33 Vyabhicharis along with their instructions for the implementation in their performance. So let's take an example to understand this better. So if the sthai is called, is say Rati, the feeling of love, and the situation is of a person waiting for his lover to come, then vibhavas would be the other lover who is yet to arrive, and the ambience of their meeting spot, the whatever, the music playing behind them, or the garden or the cafe, the lights there, smells present there, etc. And the anubhavas would be like pacing nervously, constantly looking at the door or way, staring blankly into space, or maybe blushing or something like that. Vyabhicharis would be excitement, anxiety, doubt, joy, dreaming, envy, etc. All these components which we saw, Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari, combined in correct proportions intensifies sthai, and the amalgam is called rasa. How exactly do these transitory emotions work? How are they planned? How is the character and its emotional graph built in an Abhinaya piece in Indian classical dance? All these questions would be addressed through a short demonstration. So let us take an example of a composition called Varnam. This particular Varnam is composed in Marathi by King Sarfoji Raje Bhosle II, and it has the protagonist Satyabhama, a wife of Krishna. She is a Naika, as we call her. Some people might be curious the Marathi composition for Bharatanatyam, so that is a whole different topic to be discussed. So yes, the situation is that Krishna has broken promise which he gave to Satyabhama that he would return to her soon, and that's why she is disappointed with her husband, and she is telling this to her Sakhi, her friend. Today I would be narrating the entire composition just in a nutshell and presenting only a few lines. She says, Hari ha kapati mutha pahi. Oh friend, look how cunning, deceitful this Hari is. He doesn't have any compassion for me. He just keeps me waiting for him days and nights, gives me false promises and break those and doesn't turn up. I'm tired of waiting. What wrong have I done? Sakhi naturally is trying to calm her down, console her, but dismissing her advice, Satyabhama says, the matter is between the two of us. You need not bother to intervene. And I'm not going to fall prey to your sweet words of consolation. But in the end, Satyabhama says, if Krishna himself comes here, holds my hand with love and apologizes, then I might be happy, then I would be ready to talk to him. So now just by listening to the summary of the text, you must have noticed that this Naika is going through a lot of emotions and moods and finally expressing her real love for her husband. While planning on Vyabhicharis, we have to consider the age of the character, their social status, their marital status, or their relationship with their lover if the context is of the Shrungara Rasa, and their disposition. So, because depending on these factors, the reaction and behavior of the character is subject to change despite the same situation, and in turn, the Vyabhicharis would also change for the same situation. So coming back to Bhama, Satyabhama, she is a young lady known to be short-tempered, a bit fickle-minded, but at the same time she is a queen, a dignified woman, and her lover in this context is the king, the Krishna, who is her husband. Thus she has certain expectations from her husband, and on the account of having breaking those and the breaking the promise, she is rightfully angry, amarshita with him. She tells her Sakhi how she fell for him initially, she got mohita, and how in the past he made promises of coming back to her soon. On the supposed day of his arrival, she was very excited, Utsuka, to meet him, but he did not turn up. She got worried, she got chintita, and had a doubt that he must have gone to Kunjavana with other gopis and starts feeling envy, Asya for them. And now she is hurt. How can her husband do this to her? And all this complaining is still happening out of love, hence the sthaya is Rati and Rasa Shrungara. Let's move to the demo. So the reason behind including the performance is just to give you a glimpse into the build-up of a composition and the process of rasa nishpatti. Now it is your turn to try your hand at this. Don't worry, I won't ask you to dance. Let us do a small activity. I'll give you a brief about a character and a situation, and will provide you with the list of vyabhicharis to be used. You just have to pick up any one of that and come up with a dialogue or an action that character would do or say in that situation. So, okay. So, to save the time, let us consider that this is also a situation where a person, a Naika, a girl is waiting for her beloved to come. So, description would be similar to the previous character, except for that this character won't be a specific character like Satyabhama or someone. And she is asking to her Sakhi, her friend, Sun Sakhi, piyu mero kaha. Oh dear friend, where is my beloved? Naina dohu dekhe chahe. My eyes yearn to see him. And the Vyabhicharis you can see on the screen. And yes, think for a couple of minutes and tell me what you think she can say to her Sakhi, or what emotions can she express out of these. Is the activity clear? What to. Yes. You can just, when your answer is ready, you can just raise your hand and tell me. And in the end, I would try to like pick up 4, 5 answers out of that and perform those for you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So you can just come up with a verbal dialogue, maybe that, for example, in the earlier composition, she was saying, "How can he break that promise he gave to me?" So something like that. That you can come up with a dialogue for you to make it easier, and I'll translate the whole thing into the language of the dance. Yes. Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Yes. No, no. She raised her. Is he safe? Okay. Yes, I think we are okay. Okay, so similar to kind of what she said, how they have spent happy moments together and now is okay. So looking at all this, so she is trying to be in like the visibility कि दरवाजे से देख रही है कि वो आया है कि नहीं, and then she is pacing nervously, agitated when he will arrive, and while doing all that she remembers a happy memory maybe, and when but it's like her dream which is now broken, which is not yet complete, so she's hurt and she asks her Saki, doesn't he care for me? And then she feels despair maybe. So I tried, I think, to amalgamate everyone's responses. Okay, so let's try. So I think I was able to do justice to what all you said. So yes, one may wonder why it is necessary for non-dancers to understand and appreciate these concepts in such a depth. I feel there are two reasons. First, it helps us become an audience of a deeper artistic approach. As Bharata noted, the ideal audience is not just passive and ignorant, but rather well informed, unbiased, and familiar with the art form's nuances. Secondly, observing emotions from a detached third person point of view offers a broader perspective. This kind of analysis helps us deepen our understanding of emotions, fostering greater awareness and emotional literacy, is what I feel. And yes, I hope you enjoyed the presentation and found it insightful and interesting. So, before concluding today's presentation, I would like to thank Dr. Kohinoor for having me here and the whole ARISA team for their seamless management and warm hospitality. I would also like to express my gratitude to my professors, Dr. Radhika Jadhav, Dr. Vaijayanti Belsare, and my guru, Dr. Suchita Sapekar, for their guidance, and also my gratitude to my colleagues and friends with whom I had many fruitful discussions. Lastly, I would like to thank all the speakers for enriching with their insights and valuable wisdom, and to this lovely and responsive audience without whom these sessions wouldn't have been so much fun. So, thank you.